My dad, 6 months ago, was diagnosed with lung cancer. He's been smoking for 30 years. Not the last 10, but he's been smoking for a long time. And last night, he passed away in his sleep peacefully from complications from lung cancer.
My dad was told he had lung cancer 6 months ago. He has smoked for 30 years. He has smoked for a long time. This is not the last time. And last night he died peacefully in his sleep from lung cancer effects. Storage Wars has been taking people inside the world of storage unit auctions for more than 10 years. Bidders take risks in the hopes of finding secret treasures. Fans became attached to the cast and liked seeing how their fights shaped how exciting each episode is. But along with the joy of winning came the pain of losing. Some of the well-known actors who used to bring the show to life have died, but their parts will live on in our memories. Come with us as we talk about the Storage Wars cast members who are no longer on the show. 155, 165, say no, 165 times, 165 going twice. The last time a call at $165 was around $155. Thanks, homie. Gunter. When Nazoda first appeared on the show in its 4th season, she stood out as a competitive bidder with a laid-back attitude. His son Renee said that his dad was one of those guys on Storage Wars who never really got fucked. Everyone loved being around him. Gunter was busy when he wasn't on camera. Besides being a photographer, he played bass with famous rock bands and was in a few movies. His busy life got messed up in late 2022 when he got a devastating diagnosis. His son told him that Gunter had smoked for 30 years and that doctors had found holes in his lungs that made it hard for them to treat him. Even though he knew what was wrong, he stayed home with his family and hoped for more time. Sadly, the cancer got worse, and he died peacefully in his sleep in March 2023. People still remember Gunter, but Morris Pygo is also a character that they will always love. Mo was one of the most interesting characters on Storage Wars. In 2011, he started the show's first season and quickly became a fan favorite. Mo was not only a bidder on the show, but also a seasoned investor. He had an antique store called River Regency Modern where he sold the cool things he found at storage sales. Some bidders were only interested in making money, but Mo loved the art and stories behind the things he bought. He worked with fellow cast member Mary Patchen a lot, and the two of them changed old storage units into valuable collections. But not in front of the cameras. Mo worked for a living. He took care of people's feet as a doctor in Dallas for more than 40 years. He loved collecting old things, and Storage Wars let him show everyone what he loved. As time went on, Mo had health issues. His family stated that he had been sick for a long time before he died. He died on March 4, 2021. He was 78 years old. One of the most talked about people on Storage Wars was Mark Bleo. People who saw him remember him driving up to auctions in fancy sports cars, wearing pricey suits and buying so fast that each locker felt like a big deal. But behind the scenes, Mark was having problems with his own life that would end in tragedy. The police were after him before Storage Wars. He was caught in 2007 on 3 felony charges. He later admitted to 1 and served 60 days in 2009. When he broke his sentence again in 2011, he got 45 days more in jail. Mark was caught again in February 2013. He met up with his ex-fiancée, Elizabeth Matsidas, after he got out of jail and told her how upset he was and how much the arrest had hurt him. Mark was found dead in his car on February 12, 2013, just 2 days after being arrested for the last time. Fans were shocked by the news because they had only seen him on TV as a confident businessman. His death was one of the saddest things that happened in Storage Wars. Another cast, Brandon Sheets, was a person who had a terrible event happen to them. When he started the show, he worked with his dad, Daryl Sheets. Fans liked seeing the two look for treasure in old storage boxes. But Brandon's time on TV ended in 2017. Bryant got a new job as a UPS driver after the Storage Wars were over. The work was steady, but it also came with its own risks. He had to deal with a scary thing that happened at work. I was sleeping in a semi-truck as part of a long-haul sleeper team when my co-driver, who was filling in for his usual partner, crashed into another truck going almost 70 miles per hour. The accident damaged the UPS truck and sent him to the hospital for a short time. Even though Brandon only got minor injuries, Barry Weiss, another cast member, almost died in a terrible accident. Soon, Barry was one of the most recognizable faces on Storage Wars. After his first show, people liked how funny he was, how he liked the strange, and how he treated auctions more like trips than business. Because of how unique he was, he got his own show in 2014 called Buried Treasure, where he searched the country for rare treasures. After many years on TV, Barry took a break from the show. In 2019, though, he was through a terrible event that almost killed him. Barry and his friend Jaime went for a ride in the neighborhood. A car pulled out of a parking spot from behind them as they drove down the road, and they hit it. According to the Instagram post that his friend shared, Barry had major injuries to his chest, legs, and multiple fractures. He was rushed to the hospital and put in the intensive care unit, ICU. Barry got better slowly, but he kept going. After getting better, he went back to work on Storage Wars, which was well received by both the cast and the fans who had missed him. Fans call Mary Padian the Junkster. She first appeared on Storage Wars Texas and then moved on to the main show in California. As soon as people saw how Mary could take broken things and make them look beautiful, she became a fan favorite. Even though Mary is healthy and strong, she had some rough times on the show. It was never easy for her to compete in a sale where experienced buyers were the norm, and she often felt the pressure of being underrated. Still, she proved herself over and over by finding hidden gems in old lockers and selling them for a profit. Mary Padian isn't on Storage Wars as often as she used to be in 2025, but she still runs her business, Mary's Finds. She stays busy on social media, where she shares with fans her love of old things and creative repairs. One of the most controversial people on Storage Wars was Dave Hester, who came up with the word yup. He often got into fights because of the way he bids and how well he knows what things are worth, with other buyers, which led to some of the show's most emotional scenes. He had a big setback in 2018, though, when he had a stroke. Because the health scare was so serious, he had to stay away from the sale while he got better. The news shocked his fans, who had seen him rule the trading floor. It took him a long time to get better, and he had to work hard to get stronger. Dave Hester has been less public since 2025. He still bids at sales, but he doesn't want to be the center of attention like he used to. Fans really liked Daryl Sheets on the show because he didn't back down in high-stakes lockers. People knew him as someone who never shied away from danger. He was an OG on the show because he was sure of himself and had a lot of experience in auctions, which got him both wins and heated rivalries. The best thing that happened to Daryl was when he found a storage locker full of art by Frank Gutierrez, which is worth $300,000. It was one of the most famous finds in the history of Storage Wars, and it made him known as a real risk-taker who wasn't afraid to do what other people wouldn't. In 2019, though, tragedy struck when Daryl had a heart attack. During the surgery, he told his friends that doctors had put stents in his arteries because of the health scare. As of 2025, Daryl Sheets is no longer on the show, but he is still involved in sales, though not as much. He spends more time putting his health and family first. Fans still remember Jared Schultz as the gambler who made history on Storage Wars, but he first appeared on the show with his partner Brandy Passante. They were known as the Young Guns when they were together, and they brought a different energy to the bidding floor. But sadness struck in 2019 when he and Brandy broke up after being together for a long time. Fans found it hard to watch them split up because their relationship had been such an important part of the show. Then, in 2021, Jared was jailed for something that was said to have happened with Brandy. He didn't look good after hearing the news, and it was one of the worst times of his time on the show. Even with all of these problems, Jared is still connected to the storage business. He still runs his bar and diner in 2025, choosing a less busy life than in his early days on Storage Wars.